How long does it take you to remember not to throw it in the toilet?
In the beginning, I definitely threw in the toilet a few times, say probably 3 times. But at this point, I know now not to because I'm now remembering the uncomfortableness of wiping my butt and then wrapping toilet paper around it and then throwing in a waste space bigger basket rather than the toilet. Well, I just think with the bidet, again, I'm not too familiar with it, so I don't know. Sometimes when you use the bathroom, say number two, you maybe didn't get everything. So then you get on the bidet, it shoots cold water up your butt. And then what? The excess stuff just drops off. I'm going to pass up.
So you're nice and clean. Welcome back to This Might Be a Bad Idea, where love, life, and questionable decisions collide. I'm Erica.
And I'm Jeff. But today's bad idea is assuming all toilets work the same way everywhere.
Let's talk about Mexico's most humbling habit, the use of no toilet tissue in the toilet. It's not that the toilets don't work, it's more that the pipes can't handle the paper.
Well, let me ask you something, because I know growing up, you've always learned that the toilet paper is just supposed to disintegrate in the water. So why is that different here?
Think about if you're in the country, in the States, if you have a sewer line, like, if you actually have your own sewer system, a lot of times they tell you not to flush toilet paper because you have your own sewer system versus public sewer. So it does happen some places, and it's more, again, about the pipes, whether the pipes can handle it or not. So then they tell you to get the very thin toilet tissue because it disintegrates better. But in Mexico, they just don't do it at all, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a little uncomfortable. I mean, after every time you use the bathroom, you must throw it in the trash can, not the toilet. So definitely something that, I'm used to throwing in the toilet, not having to worry about it, flushing it and not thinking about it. But now I have to think about it every time I throw out the trash because I'm emptying these bins in all the bathrooms that, have paper towels in them that have crap on them.
How long does it take you to remember not to throw it in the toilet?
At this point, in the beginning, I definitely threw in the toilet a few times, say probably 3 times. But at this point, I know now not to because I'm now remembering the uncomfortableness of wiping my butt and then wrapping toilet paper around it and then throwing in a waste space bigger basket rather than the toilet.
Sound assuming you found it weird.
I definitely was strange. I think I remember it, as a kid going on vacation in that type of situation. But you wipe your butt, you throw in the toilet, you flush, you walk away. So this is a little different because, of course, I see it twice a week when I toss them on the trash.
Yeah, so the good thing is in Mexico, they do take out the trash twice a week. So, we get to dump that in the trash twice a week, right? So it's a little easier because it's not sitting in your house for a whole week or so.
Well, and also, too, you got a special waste paper basket that you wave in front of it and it actually opens for you. And then you throw your toilet paper in there and then you walk away and it shuts. And that's pretty genius for this situation.
Yeah, very different from if you go to Mexico and you're in some of the restaurants or stores. There's no cover. It's just a whole bunch of, toilet tissue in a bin. And sometimes it doesn't smell that great when you walk into some of the bathrooms. You remember when we went to the beach?
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was the black one. And I went in just to wash my hands. But at that point, I was like, there's no way that I think I could do anything in this bathroom but wash my hands. So at that point, I had clean hands.
And then some people go to the point where they actually get bidets. Like my cousins put a bidet attachment on their toilet so they don't have to deal with, toilet tissue with.
That's actually genius, especially for living in an area where we can't flush toilet paper.
So you think that's something that we should do?
I don't know. I mean, I got to get comfortable with water splashing up on my butt, but I think, everyone uses it everywhere, right? Outside of the US.
So would you like warm water or cold water?
Probably warmer water, probably. Cold water would be too much of a shock, maybe.
So they do have like adjustments now with the bidets that you could, suggest warm or cold water. Because cold water is just a normal. You hook it up to the toilet,
Yeah.
cold water comes up.
Flush.
Uh,
Yeah, I saw one at one point, but I was always scared to use it because I just didn't know. With water splashing up, I didn't know where the water was going. And I just felt safe doing what I normally do in the bathroom, and that's using the toilet and then leaving. Not that. Using the toilet, washing my hands, then leaving.
yes, wash your hands after you.
Because that's really important to wash your hands after you use the bathroom.
And some people say the bidet can be really refreshing. I don't know. I tried it a few times when I was at my cousin's house. To me, I didn't feel like it helped as much. Maybe they didn't have strong pressure. That's another thing too with Mexico is the pressure is usually pretty low. We do have a pressure pump in our house, so our pressure is not like the States, but it's doable. So that might be changing the factor because if you don't have enough pressure hitting your area,
Oh, true, right.
it's not
You
going
have to
to
jump up pretty far.
jumping that far.
But anyway,
But that's something that we could do. We could
yeah.
get them attachments and put them on the toilets.
Well, wait, though, hold on, though, because I thought when you're using those bidets, you still have to use toilet paper to wipe off.
Well, you don't need as much toilet paper because it's cleaning you already.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So the idea of you use a little bit of toilet paper, maybe 1 or 2 squares, and then you toss that.
Yes, count the squares. Only 2 allowed.
What about the stuff that happens, the drop? Okay.
What?
Not,
No, this
I
is
don't
the whole
want
point
to
of
feel
podcast.
uncomfortable. Well, I just think with the bidet, again, I'm not too familiar with it, so I don't know. Sometimes when you use the bathroom, say number 2, you maybe didn't get everything. So then you get on the bidet, it shoots cold water up your butt. And then what? The excess stuff just drops off and goes.
Well, that's what I was saying about pressure. So if you have strong enough pressure, it should be able to clean. It's like putting a hose on your butt.
Okay.
That's exactly what, somebody hosed you down and cleaned your butt.
I've seen that on a couple of jail shows. I'm sure. I don't know. I'm going to pass on.
So you're nice and clean.
You definitely be nice and clean. It's the question about that. I'm just thinking maybe over clean.
It's better than having to go and get in a shower every time you go to the bathroom.
But who's getting in the shower?
Some people do.
That's a lot of
When they first
water
moved here. Well, our water is because we have.
Regardless, it's definitely gross wiping your butt and then tossing it in that waste paper basket and then having it sit there for a couple days before you toss it. But I mean, it is what it is, right? You don't want to clog up our toilets and then have that issue.
So one of the things is a lot of the new builds actually allow you to flush toilets. And the only reason why is the pipes are a little bit bigger. But as we know with Mexico construction, you can never be too sure.
Yeah.
So, I just go with how the Mexicans do it. They don't flush, so I'm not going to flush. Even though we have a new build, we possibly could flush.
Really? I see. I didn't know that. So you're saying we can flush.
We could.
You choose not.
I don't trust our gelders because I don't know what size pipes they put in. And if they put in the wrong size pipes, we could have a clog. And then now we're calling Jorge in the middle of the night saying, we can't flush our toilets.
I don't know, but it's just, it'd be more comfortable if we can flush our...
I just don't want to do it all the time. If we have an accident and people visit, and that's fine.
I see. Okay, that's pretty reasonable.
And I know our neighbors, they don't. Like Dorian said he didn't. I
feel bad for the person that has to take out the trash.
Well, that's your
That's
job.
me, so I have to smell that. And that's okay. Welcome to Mexico.
Yeah. It's twice a week. Just take it out the trash. The cleaner can take it out, but you don't let her take it out.
Because I don't want the cleaner up in where that stuff has been.
But that's her job, to clean.
I got it. Sometimes, I think sometimes I'll take care of my own stuff and she can take care of everything else.
Okay. Yep.
So, but that's definitely something that that we had to change, and I'm used to it, I think, at this point. It's okay. It's something that we deal with, and that's okay.
So what's one habit you've totally changed since moving when it comes to toilets?
Not flushing toilet paper, of course. I mean, I'm thinking that's about it.
I know when I went home for the first time after we had been here, I went to go clean myself and I went to go put it in the trash and I was like, oh no, I put it in the toilet. And it was so funny because we'd only been here for like 3 months, but I've gotten so much in the habit of dumping my toilet tissue in the trash that I totally forgot that, yeah, I can put it back in the toilet in the States. I didn't want my parents having to take that out.
Yeah, I think it was a big change, but you got used to it because you realized that what could happen in a negative way could be a disaster,
Yeah.
right? I mean, and again, like you said, we don't know who you built the pipings. I mean, as we know, some of the pipings like plastic and things like that that I'm not really comfortable with, but look, it works right now. We'll take it day by day and see where it goes from
Yeah. You adapt fast, and then, next we're explaining it to our visitors when they come over. Hey, that's the bin. That's where you put your toilet tissue. Do not put it in the toilet. That's very important that we have to stress to anyone that comes over is not using the toilet to put their tissue in. So,
And I gotta tell you, it's not the most comfortable conversation, especially with family.
well, I already told them like multiple times.
Oh, I see.
I told them before they even come.
If anyone visits me, I'll just text them and so I don't have to get in that conversation, and that way they'll understand.
I said, number one is you don't put toilet tissue in our toilet. That's what I told them, and they're like, "What do you do with it?"
That's probably strange. Yeah, they're gonna be like, "What do you mean? I just put it in the."
Well, my sister, Angela, she actually was like, one of her coworkers does that, and she's Hispanic.
Yeah.
So in the States, like they won't let anybody put toilet tissue in their toilet in the States. So she had already heard of that before, but obviously that's just something you have to adjust to. So we might have to take out their trash more often than ours, but
Yeah.
my dad might take out his own trash, to be honest.
I disagree that I'll be stuck taking out the trash.
Yeah, but my dad would.
Yeah, but I think I got my schedule. I'll take it out. I'm sure they're not.
I'm saying he's going to take out his own bin when he comes.
Okay. So we'll have them take care of their own bathroom.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure if that's good or not, but it is. Regardless, I got to take out a bunch of stuff that smells very stinky, and it's going to sit outside on a hot day in Mexico. And I'm going to tell you, I got mad respect for those trash people because they have a bin. It's not like it's a big trash truck that smashes the trash. It's just like a big bin that they just throw trash in there and they just drive off. So it's got to be stinky.
And then when the trash does sit outside and it's hot in Mexico, it's just hot trash in the sun.
In the sun, 90 degrees.
Yeah, it does not smell good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all today about the toilet in Mexico. But subscribe, share, and then tell us what everyday habits surprise you the most when you moved abroad. Thanks for stopping in.